Let's talk about the evolution of the whale. We're going to start by assuming whales are mammals. For instance, whales nurse their young on milk, like mammals that live on land. And also, like other land animals, whales breathe through lungs, not gills like fish. And we know that mammals have hair or fur. Believe it or not, whales even have whiskers. So we know whales are mammals. But what evidence do we have that whales have evolved? And how have they evolved? Well, we know that modern whales have inside of them pelvic bones and femurs. And in their flippers, they even have fingers. This tells us that they must have had legs and hands in their evolutionary past. But fossils are our best form of evidence. So here's what we know based on fossil evidence. The oldest fossil we found that seems related to the whale is this animal Sinonyx. Looked a lot like a wolf. So clearly Sinonyx was a land mammal, but he had an ear like a whale. He could hear underwater. We also found a fossil of Pakicetus, who lived about 50 million years ago and hunted in the water. Ambulocetus lived about 48 million years ago, and you can see it looked a lot like a crocodile, but with fur. About 40 million years ago, Rodhocetus lived on the earth. You can see that its nostril is coming up its skull, and it has stronger legs for swimming. As you can see, over time, the whale's back legs became smaller and smaller, and it became more and more spending time in the water, just like this fossil Dorudon. Basilosaurus lived only 40 million years ago, and you can see it's almost fully a whale, but if you look closely, you can still see tiny back legs. So based on the fossil evidence, the trend we see in whale evolution is from an animal who lives partially near the water to an animal that spends a lot of time hunting in the water, tails growing stronger, flippers beginning to form, nostrils moving up the skull, back legs growing smaller and smaller, until finally we have the whales we know today.